his or her freedom to choose which behavior and response he or she should exhibit. Being proactive means a person can have creativity and initiative. Okay, so when we say taking responsibility, proactive individuals recognize that they are responsible for their choices and actions. They don't blame external circumstances for their failures or shortcomings. Exercising freedom to choose. Proactive people recognize that they have the power to choose their response to any given situation. They don't allow external events to dictate their behavior. And developing creativity and initiative. Proactive individuals are not content to simply react to any events. They actively seek out opportunities to create and innovate. For the second one, we have begin with the end in mind. When designing a plan or making a decision, one must ensure that it is what he or she wants. He or she must dedicate time and effort in achieving his or her plans. So when we say begin with the end in mind, it means defining your own personal vision, like aligning actions with goals. This habit emphasizes the importance of having a clear vision of what you want to achieve in life. It involves defining your values, setting goals, and aligning your actions with those goals. Committing time and effort. Achieving your goals requires a significant investment of time and effort. This habit emphasizes the importance of prioritizing your activities and focusing on the things that are most important. For the third one, we have prioritize. One must practice self management by knowing his or her priorities. So when we say prioritize, it's like put first things first, managing your time effectively. For example, like prioritizing your task. This habit involves identifying your most important tasks and focusing on those first. It requires differentiating between urgent and important tasks and prioritizing accordingly. Like another example is practicing self management. Effective time management requires self discipline and the ability to say no to distractions. It also involves planning your day and allocating your time effectively. For the fourth one, we have think win to win. This is like seeking mutually beneficial outcomes. One must look at life as a form of cooperation rather than competition. Entering agreements and making solutions that are mutually beneficial for both parties can lead to a more satisfying life. Okay, so like adopting a collaborative mindset. This habit encourages individuals to approach interactions with collaborative mindset, seeking solutions that benefit all parties involved. And another example is avoiding competition. Win to win thinking recognizes that life is not a zero sum game. It emphasizes the importance of cooperation and finding creative solution that meets everyone's needs. For the fifth one, we have understand first, then be understood. To understand someone, one must listen to have empathy. The listener must put himself or herself in the other person's shoes. Active and intentional listening to another person's explanation can enable the listener to evaluate, probe, and interpret the speaker's feelings and offer advice as needed. So when we say seek first, understand first, then be understood, it's like seek first to understand, then be understood. It's like practicing empathetic communication. So when we say active listening, this habit requires actively listening to understand the other person's perspective without interrupting or judging. Developing empathy. Empathy involves putting yourself in other person's shoes and trying to see things from their point of view. Then we also have offering advice and support. Once you have understood the other person's perspective, you can offer advice and support that is tailored to their needs. For the sixth one, we have synergize. Synergy refers to the habit of practice of creative cooperation. Groups can produce better results as compared to individuals because more tasks can be done and more things are maximized and utilized. So when we say synergize, it's like unleashing the power of collaboration. And when we say creative cooperation, synergizing involves working together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. And valuing diversity. This habit recognizes that diverse perspectives and experiences can lead to more innovative and effective solutions. And we also have maximizing resources. Synergizing involves identifying and leveraging the strengths of each team member to achieve a common goal. For the last one, we have sharpen the saw. What someone learned from years ago may become obsolete in the present. Learning is a never ending process. The brain needs constant updating. Along with this, humor is a powerful tool that one can use in the workplace because it fosters camaraderie. A sense of humor is essential to ease the tension, boredom, and hostility one may experience while working. Effective leaders have the ability to energize their followers. So when we say sharpen the saw, it's like committing to continuous improvement. Continuing learning, when we say that. This habit emphasizes the importance of continuous learning and self improvement. And maintaining physical, mental, and spiritual well being. This like involves taking care of your physical health, expanding your knowledge, and nurturing your spirit at the same time. Finding humor and joy. Sure, it's like sharpening the saw also involves finding humor and joy in your work and life.
So next is decision making. Decision making is the process of choosing the most logical or best choice among two or more options. It's something like we do every day. For example, deciding what course to take in college, choosing what clothes to wear, or even how to spend our allowance daily. Well, making those good decisions help us survive, succeed, and grow as individuals. According to Dale Carnegie and his associates, making the correct decision quickly is a valuable trait. But we cannot always rely on one pattern, since situations may differ. And when making decisions, we must consider three main things. First, identifying all possible solutions to a problem. Let's set an example. If your group project isn't going well, then think of a possible actions or a solutions, like improving communication, dividing tasks, or seeking up from your teacher. Second is we evaluate each option to see which is the most effective appropriate to our goal. Lastly, after evaluating, select the best option. In our example, maybe the best solution or the correct choice is to set a fixed schedule for our group work. Let's move on to decision making involvement. This means involving other people in the process, sharing ideas, discussing options, and deciding together. It's important because decision made as a group often lead to better understanding and cooperation. There are several types of decision making involvement. First is consensus or agreement. This is when everyone discusses their opinion until they all agree. For example, in a class organization, everyone gives their ideas about where to hold an outreach activity, And after decision, they all agree this to visit a nearby orphanage. This builds unity and cooperation among the organization. Number two is majority voting. This happens when decisions are made based on who has the most votes. For instance, when your class votes for an event theme, the opinion with the most votes wins. It's effective, but sometimes it the losing side might feel unheard. Number three is silent consensus. This happens when people remain quiet and it's assumed they agree. For example, during a meeting, no one speaks up against an idea. So it means it's accepted. But this isn't always good because silent doesn't always mean true agreement. Number four, click. It is a small group makes decisions secretly before a meeting. For example, a few class officers already decide the outcome before asking the rest of the class. This can cause division or favoritism. Number five, handcuffs. One person suggests something and another agrees immediately without discussing it. For example, one says, let's keep the cleanup today, and the other agrees right away. This may lead to resentment from others who weren't consulted. Number six is one person decision. A single person makes a decision alone. For example, the class president decides everything without asking the members. It's fast, but others may not support the outcome since they weren't part of the process. And lastly is the plot. This is when no decision is made at all. Someone gives a suggestion, but everyone ignores it. So nothing happens. For example, in a group project, one member suggests a plan, but no one responds. So the group remains or stays stuck.
Good day, everyone. Today I will talk about time management. Time management means organizing and planning how to divide your time between different tasks. It helps us work smarter, not harder, so we can get more done in less time. When we manage our time well, we reduce stress and avoid the pressure of rushing to meet deadlines. One of the most important parts of time management is setting priorities. We should always focus first on what is important and urgent. Making a daily or weekly schedule can help us stay organized and on track. Another helpful tip is to avoid distractions, such as spending too much time on social media or chatting during work or study hours. We should also remember to take short breaks to rest our mind and bodies. This helps us stay focused and avoid burnout. Time management is not just about doing more tasks, it's about doing what truly matters. Time management is important because time is a limited and non-renewable resource. Once time is gone, when time is gone, it cannot be regained. Managing it properly helps people increase their productivity, reduce stress, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. When individuals plan their schedules carefully, they can make better decisions, avoid last-minute pressure, and focus on what truly matters. There are several key of principles of time management. The first goal is goal setting, which involves identifying both short-term and long-term objectives. Prioritization is another essential principle, where tasks are arranged based on their urgency and importance. Good time management and also includes effective planning, delegation of tasks when necessary, and avoid procrastination. Developing self-discipline is equally important to stay consistent with plans and meet deadlines. It's also important to avoid